ever enduring and unchanged. Golf is pure theater. Its passion and drama has forged so many indelible personalities. These are the champions who met in golf's magnificent arena. Golf Channel Classics.
Today, it's the final of the U.S. Amateur.
Indeed, Championship Sunday at Pumpkin Ridge Golf Club, one of the more celebrated new courses in the country. A scenic layout nestled in 350 acres of rolling Oregon farmland just west of Portland. It's not even 5 years old yet, but so impressive, it'll also host next year's U.S. Women's Open. And partly cloudy skies have cooled off the near-record sizzling temperatures we experienced earlier this week. So near perfect conditions today for this 36-hole final between Tiger Woods and a confident University of Florida golfer. Tiger Woods may have a shot at history, but 19-year-old Steve Scott was cool and steady in the morning 18. The birdie at the par 5 fourth produced an early 2-up lead. Tiger Woods was 3 down at the par 5 seventh, needed this par putt to stay that way.
Tiger's been struggling with this hole all week, and he pulls this putt for a 6.
And he was 4 down. Tiger was 3 down at the par 3 11th. Steve Scott struck this nice long iron at the 10th.
Going with a 4-iron.
Kick left.
204 yards. Gets a good hop off the fringe and runs right inside Tiger's tee shot.
Scott would birdie it, and the lead was 4 up again. And with Woods in trouble on the 11th, Steve Scott surprisingly won the first par 3 fives. This birdie at 11 increased the lead to 5 up.
Beautiful stroke here right in the center of the cup.
Tiger won the 12th, reduced the lead, then looked to have Scott on the ropes at the par 4 16th, but Scott nearly holes this 3rd shot from the bunker.
Scott hit a push drive in a poor second, and darn near, you see that ball went down in the hole and came out again.
He would save par. Meanwhile, Tiger, who was on in regulation, left his approach putt short.
Way short, and he has got a little right to left break here and underreads it.
Misses his par attempt and also found himself 5 down again. He tried to stage the late morning rally, this approach on the par 4 17th.
Beautiful 8-iron here going right at the pin and high, right over the top of the cup, and backspins it almost to a gimme range.
A birdie. It would be his first win since the 12th hole, and it would cut Scott's lead to 4 up, but the confident teenager from Coral Springs, his 3rd shot wedge on the par 5 18th.
Little 50-yarder, and interprets it beautifully. 3 feet from the hole.
Tiger already had a par, so Scott needed this birdie, and he continued with his smooth stroke. He would win 4 of the par 5, shooting 4 under on the 18 to Tiger's +5. That produced the 5-up lead through 18. So Tiger Woods had a little more than an hour to think about the deficit. He really dug himself a hole in the morning 18, but the second 18 began earlier this afternoon, and Tiger needed this par to have the hole at the first hole or risk going 6 down, and that was big, Johnny.
That was absolutely huge. That's the first time I saw some life out of him the whole day.
Then the second shot at the par 4 third.
In the morning, he lost the 3rd hole, the 4th hole, and the 5th hole.
And he would make birdie to win the hole. As you see the ball come within about 1.5 feet. The lead was just 4 up for Scott. Tiger hit a poor drive at the par 5 fourth, had to punch out. This was his 3rd shot.
Full pitching wedge, heading right at the pin. And it's a beauty right there. Another Stony Bird.
And another birdie. And suddenly the lead was just 3 up for Steve Scott. Tiger kept it going at the par 3 fifth. Steve Scott has this putt for par. Misses it. Settles for bogey. And all of a sudden, Steve Scott's 5-up lead with 3 straight holes at 3, 4, and 5 has been trimmed to just 2 up through 23. And Johnny, this is really what we may have expected considering the history of Tiger Woods back in 1994. Well down to Trip Keeney. In fact, 4 down as he began the afternoon 18 and went on to win it.
It's an interesting morning session that Tiger had. He was sort of down looking. He looked not negative, but just no life in him. He wasn't smiling, wasn't pumping that fist like we're used to seeing. And then that putt on the 19th hole seemed to be the first glimmer of hope or light he's had. And boy, after that, winning 3, 4, and 5 to get just 2 down. And I'll tell you what, Scott better have his A game, because it looked like maybe he's starting to lose it a little, and you don't want to feel that way to Tiger, because he's got the game to just run right over you.
On that note, how do you think it will affect Steve Scott? He was very confident. He's even brash. He's very confident about his game and what he can do. But do you think Tiger's charge will leave him a little bit in awe?
I think what's the next 2 or 3 holes are going to really tell you a lot about the match. If Scott can win one of these next 3 holes and not drop any and increase it to 3, maybe that means he means business. If he continues to let it slide, who knows? Tiger might just run over him big time this second 18.
Well, there are a lot of names in the Havemeyer Trophy. A lot of men have even won this championship twice. Jerome Travers and Bobby Jones had a chance at the three-peat. They've come the closest, but it has been 70 years since a golfer even had a chance to three-peat. The great Bobby Jones couldn't pull it off when he lost in the 1926 final, 2-1. So this is a piece of golf history that Tiger Woods is after at the scenic Pumpkin Ridge Witch Hollow course. And they are playing the par 4-6, and walking with the match is Roger Maltby.
Set the scene here, Roger. What do we have? This is a birdie effort?
Both players have birdie efforts. Steve Scott is inside Tiger, but neither player is really close. This is about 30 feet. Steve Scott maybe has 25 feet. Tiger's putt should move a little bit from right to left.
Folks, this is a big par 4, 446 yards, so not really a birdie hole, and that reflects that in the length of the birdie putts being attempted here.
Now Tiger is waiting for the sea of photographers on the other side of the hole. It's a very close distance to the water, and they were on the other side of the hole and bothering him, so he asked them to move. Notice how he's standing taller than he did this morning. John changed his pre-shot routine a little bit with the putter standing much taller.
Said he can see the line better, and it lets his arms swing more free. Good pace, Roger.
Good speed, just overread it slightly, but a good putt.
So that for the par for Woods. Once again, he's won 3 straight holes, and Roger alluded to the in-between 18-hole practice session he had with Butch Harmon. And Johnny, you could see the change in the disposition, a smiling Tiger Woods after really a face of shock and disbelief in the morning 18.
I never saw Tiger smile one time the whole 18 holes this morning, and like you say, there was not a look of positive energy coming out of him. And so this is good that Brunza is maybe it's a bit of a brain trust there between Butch Harmon, his physical teacher, of course, and Jay Brunza, the mental side of it.
This to win the hole for Steve Scott. Him mark that and putt for the have. Steve Scott will be a sophomore at the University of Florida. He's 19 years old, and his very first U.S. Amateur Championship. Last year he lost to Buddy Marucci in the semis, and Marucci later lost to Tiger in the finals.
Pretty important to note that he shot a match play. I need to say that 4 under par this morning, and Tiger had 77. So Tiger had a real poor first 18.
So they have the 6th. And the score remains 2 up for Steve Scott, who once again began this afternoon 18-5 up. All right, this birdie for Scott, Roger.
From about 16, 17 feet, will move slightly from right to left. Probably a couple balls off the hole on the right. Pretty good stroke there.
So the bar conceded. So Tiger Woods with a chance for a win here to further slice into the lead.
Roger, Tiger's getting to putt second now. In the morning, it was always seemed like Tiger putt first, and the door was open for Scott, and it just was continuing that way. And when you do that, you know, you're in a green light situation. Now all of a sudden he's controlling the match, even though he's 2 down.
you're absolutely right, and it takes the pressure off and puts it back on Steve Scott simply because you're right. I mean, the other guy's having to finish out or watch you with a chance to win instead of the other way around.
Takes a lot of energy out of you.
Yeah,
it does. You're watching the guy to see if you lost the hole. You know, it's just a hole after hole that wears you down. What has he got here? Is it a good run at it from here?
It is. It's back up. It's about 15 feet. And it will move a little bit to his left, I believe, but there's not a lot of break in this putt. He can be pretty aggressive with this.
As I said earlier, this hole has not been his buddy, so see if that continues.
That's Steve Scott's buddy, his girlfriend Christy Hummel, on the bag. So Tiger and Scott will have the par 5 7th. Steve Scott remains 2 up. And as always in match play in this U.S. Amateur Championship, you can practice putting on the green after the hole has been decided one way or the other. So Tiger takes another practice stroke.
Winning the U.S. Amateur was a major step and a turning point in my life, and of course I'm very happy to have won a lot of tournaments such as the Masters or the Open, but I think the one that sticks in my mind and the one that I have enjoyed the most over the years is the U.S. Amateur Championship.
As you can see, Arnie won it in 1954 at Detroit Golf Club and got him moving in the right direction. Boy, what an ambassador to the game he's been. Just has done so much for the game and a wonderful role model for myself and a lot of pros.
Second shot for Scott at the 8th.
A 7-iron from 163 yards. Good looking if it'll skip to the back level.
And it will, Roger.
Wow. What a shot. And that's tough to get it close to that back tier. And happy camp there.
Christy Hummel, a golfer on the Florida Southern Golf Team, caddying for Steve.
And she's so happy and up and
very
smiling.
Positive.
Perfect kind of caddy to have. She lifts him up when he may be down a little bit and does a good job for him. Really good.
Tiger's next. Roger, yardage?
136 yards. Just a pitching wedge. Hard to imagine just a pitching wedge from 136, but that's all it is.
He hit one about 145 in the air on the first 18. Let's see if he can do it again. He got to get up top. And it was a smooth one.
Yeah, he's trying to keep the ball down. He's kept it down. This should skip up too.
I don't know.
No, it caught the ridge.
I can't believe how easy he swung at that distance. Almost, Roger. That's when backspin will hurt you.
Interesting semifinals were staged yesterday. Stanford teammates and Florida teammates vied for a right to get to this final, and it was Tiger Woods who took on Joel Kreibel. He was 2 down on the par 4-8, this third shot.
Kreibel knocked it in there about 12 feet and looked like he was going to win the hole, and Tiger hit this 100-foot explosion shot 4 or 5 feet from the hole.
So then this par putt to have it and remain 2 down. Kreibel was just about flawless for the first 10 holes and then suddenly got a little loose in his swing. The same margin as Tiger played his second shot at the par 3 10th after missing the green.
Again, Kreibel knocked it stiff, and then Tiger figured he's got to make this chip shot, and he thought he had knocked this in. Watch this. Coming down that hill. And then a little bit of serendipity for the Woods camp here by Kreibel.
Kreibel had the birdie try.
He just touches it, thinking it's going to break left or right. It looks like it's going to break left or right. Hits it left edge. Nothing, and he cannot believe it.
He was still 2 up. And then at the par 5 14th, Kreibel got into problems off the tee, had this third shot to the par 5 and hit it very heavy.
Yeah, definitely chunked it. He sort of gave up on it like, well, that's in the drink. Just carries, and watch this.
Nearly an eagle. It lips out off the left edge, so he's got a very makeable birdie try, but Tiger Woods was on and 2, and all the great players, Johnny, take advantage.
You talk about the definition of undaunted by that good fortune by Kreibel. Look at this eagle.
On top of Kreibel's birdie, had cut the lead to 1 up, and Tiger was on his way. He was 1 up with that eagle, and he was on his way to a 3-1 win over his teammate Kreibel, who was overshadowed on the Stanford golf team despite being a first-team All-American as a freshman with Tiger.
Kreibel really had Tiger on the ropes, and his game starting that back 9, just, I mean, right now I'm sure he's at home just shaking his head. He just couldn't believe the wayward shots that he came up with. But a very fine player, and that was a good match. And of course Tiger's in for another great match here with Mr. Steve Scott.
And ironically, he is 2 down.
And Scott looks like he's gonna win this hole on paper right now, but you never know in this game.
Steve Scott has yet to win a hole so far, and we're going to take a look at the reaction after Tiger gets a glimpse of where his ball was.
And he knows he hit it about 2 feet short of where he needed to knock it stiff. It hit the bank, spun of course back, and the backspin worked against him. And these greens are running about 12 on the stump meter. And I'm telling you, this golf course is in such fantastic condition. I just cannot tell you. It is just perfect. And I had a couple superintendents, Vincent Rubio, and then the main guy, Bill Webster. I really could be congratulated. And everyone here at Pumpkin Ridge has been so nice to the players and everyone involved. What a great sight.
Now Tiger's putt from just inside 35 feet up over a large ridge. We'll try to move left on the way up the slope.
Not a bad 2-putt from there. But Tiger knows that the door is open for a Steve Scott birdie and a potential 3-up lead.
And this is he's lining up the writing on that ball to be right where he wants to hit it, Roger.
Taking dead aim.
Yeah, he was taking dead aim. Boy, is this a huge putt, Roger.
Oh, it really is, because it's been all Tiger this afternoon, and to win a hole and get it turned back the other way a little bit would be very comforting.
What this signals to Tiger Woods is that this guy has been knocked down. I got him with a couple good punches, 3 holes in a row I got him with, and now he's cleared his head, got the cobwebs out, and he's back on track, and that's not really what Tiger wants to see. But if he makes this putt, match goes 3 down for Woods. What's it going to do, Roger?
It's going to move a little bit left. All depends on the speed, John. It's a little bit downhill from here.
He's been easing into his putts. The second 18. There it is again. Another one left. You can't believe it broke that much. Tremendous opening for Tiger Woods right there.
A little display of anger from Steve Scott, too. It's the first time we've seen that, John. Frustration.
That's 3 putts, this new 18, the second 18, that he's sort of eased into or missed left.
So now it's Steve Scott takes a practice stroke before leaving the 8. They have that. They'll head to the long par 4 ninth, 463 yards. When Tiger Woods pulled it off in '94, and then of course the victory at Newport last year. But he finds himself 2 down to Steve Scott on the 9th.
Well, this swing, you can see he's aiming way right. He's aiming the right edge of the fairway, which is playing for a big swinging hook. And watch his position here, pretty good right there. And then he drops it in. Watch that, see that little drop-in move, right? Watch how the club goes inside out, big time, and he pushes it right at the right edge of the fairway, and it does not come back enough. Let's take a look at his head action. He's so still the first half of his backswing. Watch this. Now to move off at the end when his left shoulder pulls it off, comes right back to where he started, hangs back just a little, and then drives through. And let's take a look at his lie. It is down grain, but from there he can't reach the green. He's just going to put it in a position where he could hit a nice wedge in there and give himself a chance for a scrambling par.
Well, he's got 240 yards to the hole, Johnny. If he could get a flyer and really get it scooting, he might get it there, but unlikely.
It's on the ground running, little hook.
It'll be well short. Just trickles into the very first cut of rough. Tiger Woods outdrove him 113 yards this hole.
That's all, huh?
That's all. He's got 127 left of the hole.
113. That's in a different area code.
460 some odd yard par 4.
Well, Tiger needs to throw it in there where He knows that he forces the issue and gives Steve, forces him to have to make par. So what's he going with here, Raj?
Just a pitching wedge, John. And you know, the concern here is for those little collection areas on the right side of the green. He can't really afford to go in right of the hole. That's flirting with going down a large depression on the right side. So I'm sure he's looking left of the hole here and, you know, just try to force Steve Scott to get the ball up and down.
Well, he's in a birdie opportunity right here. What kind of shot will he hit, Roger?
I think he'll just try to, you know, just a 3/4 wedge for him. Just try to keep it down and keep the flight of the ball controlled.
I think he'll hit that little punch shot. We'll see. Nope, full follow through.
A little left of the hole.
And another chance to cut into the lead of Steve Scott. 2 up through 26 in this championship match. Welcome back to Pumpkin Ridge. The action at the par 4 ninth, and Steve Scott getting ready for his 3rd to the par 4.
Roger, just nice flattish green to hit to for him. Plenty of green to work with.
Yeah, it is. He's got plenty of green. 56 yards to the hole. 35 to the front. Try to land something on the front. Skip it back there a little bit. Let it release back to the hole. This is a well-played shot. Beautiful shot.
Now we'll see if Tiger can make that putt, knowing that he's probably going to make 4.
He is cool and confident, but what about his goals later on in his golfing life? Well, you talk about some lofty goals.
I'd like to win a lot of tournaments. I mean, shoot, you know, I don't think there will be another Jack Nicklaus, but I'd like to win as many as I can, and preferably majors. And it would be a great start if I could win this U.S. Amateur Championship now.
Well, Johnny, if he won the U.S. Amateur, only 19 more majors left. But you got to give him credit for being confident.
Yeah, he just poke at him one at a time.
And what about the last 15 months for Steve Scott? Not only graduates from high school, but a semifinalist last year, and then tied for 9th at the NCAA Championships, which Tiger Woods won. Qualified for the U.S. Open with a birdie on the final hole of sectional qualifying on the tough 18th at Bay Hill. Made the cut after shooting fine scores in the 70s for the first 2 rounds. Did finish 105, and then now a finalist in the U.S. Amateur again.
And Tiger said he knew he was a good player. I think he was 2nd at the Sunnehanna and 2nd at the Northeast Amateur. So he's definitely a good player. He's not just a, you know, once a year type good player. Solid player. But this is a key putt, Roger.
It is, and this will move just a little bit to Tiger's right. Very makeable. This would be a big have for Steve Scott should Tiger miss this putt. He'd love to get out of here with a tie.
Yeah, Woods dodged the bullet on 8.
Be a little turnaround.
Yeah. We haven't seen him make a putt this length all day.
Until now.
He was due, really due. There's that old Tiger Woods.
Haven't seen the pumping fist, you're right, Johnny, in a long time. And as they make the turn in the afternoon 18, what was a 5-up lead, 1 up now for Steve Scott. And the stride, how much more confident is that?
No comparison, and we're going to the back 9, which this man until this morning has owned. Take a look at this. Snuck it in that side and loves it.
So on to the 10th they go. Par 3. Long par 3 of 204 yards, and Tiger's still pumping his fist well after making that birdie. And this is how he's played the back 9, Johnny, no doubt about it. If he had his choice, he'd play the back 9 all week.
And this is a dangerous time in the match right now for Steve Scott. He's dropped, of course, 4 holes this front 9, losing number 9, and not taking advantage of number 8 when he had a chance, which was really important. So He needs to turn this around somehow, win a hole, even tie a couple holes wouldn't be bad. Just stop it for a while, stop the bleeding.
Tiger Woods has a USGA match record of 41-3, and we've talked about it a lot this week. How you have to be not only good and talented to compile that kind of record, but a little lucky. And Tiger will even admit that.
And also, maybe most importantly, is just a will to win, just to refuse to lose, the resolve inside to say, I got plenty of holes left, I'm the better player, I'm going to win. And right now, if you're handicapping this twosome, this match right here, Scott is 1 up, but in reality, he's probably 1 down going into this back 9. I would say that Tiger has got about a 2 hole deficit, advantage over Scott. So Scott's going to have to play well.
This is a 6-iron. Wind helping slightly. This ball started a little left of the hole, trying to cut back.
Safe play.
Pretty solid, Roger. He's sort of picking his spots where he goes for the pins, and I'm pretty impressed with what he's doing right now.
Well, Johnny, as we said earlier, he is now controlling the match. He didn't have any control in the morning 18, but now he's dominating everything that happens in this match with his shot selection and application.
Well, this is the same spot that Scott knocked it stiff this morning with a draw 4-iron bouncing off the right side.
He started it at the right mound again. It's trying to draw, but I don't know if it's going to get all the way back. It will not.
Nope, and that's
a
really
tough spot
fast.
there. Yes, that's really quick chip shot.
Well, we polled some of the great champions in the game of golf, as well as his father, about Tiger's potential, and to a man, they all agree that Tiger Woods is indeed unique.
I think that Tiger Woods is going to be America's next superstar. I say that because his basic fundamentals are so good. He has the charisma and hits the ball unbelievable distances. And, well, look at his record, amateur, speaks for itself.
Well, Tiger is a young man who I think is poised beyond his years. He's got as sound of fundamentals as I've ever seen in a golf swing. And he uses them. He handles himself beautifully. The hardest thing that he's going to have is handling the press, and I think he does a beautiful job with that.
Well, Tiger's a unique individual. He's a young man that has been involved in this limelight, so to speak, ever since he was age 4 when he started appearing on television.
Sure.
That's perfect. That was perfect.
I don't believe it. That kid's a dope fiend.
Hey, just one more so they know it wasn't an accident.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, and did you see how straight?
All right, hit that other ball. Hit that other ball.
Perfect.
Tiger is a caring, loving person who shares and is concerned with the feelings and the hopes and aspirations of others until you get him inside the ropes in a match play situation. Then Tiger becomes a cold-blooded assassin with absolutely no fear and no mercy.
Steve Scott at the par 3 10th with a very difficult second shot, Roger.
He certainly does. He'll have to land this ball short of the green in the first cut of rough, and he's going to have to hope it kills it. It will come down off that slope very quickly and move to his left. To get this within 10 feet of the hole would be pretty good, John.
What happens if he just hits a big flop shot and lands about 6 feet short of the hole? Won't that just go 10 or 12 feet by also?
Well, it will, but it's going to be next to impossible to keep the ball from getting past the hole in that kind of range.
Yeah, in other words, I would just say to myself, give myself a 6, 8, 10, 12 footer, and I'll go ahead and flop it up there and not try to hang it in that rough short. I don't want to take myself out of the hole. So interesting to see if he just doesn't play it way forward, which he's doing, and flop it in there on a fly. How about that shot, folks?
Birdie 2 for Scott.
What a shot. That could be the shot of the day right there.
That ball would have gone by a good 10, 12 feet, Johnny, but caught the hole, caught the flagstick.
The ebb and flow of match play. Once again, now Tiger up against it now and needs to make if he doesn't want to fall 2 down again.
Well, this is not what Tiger was expecting to happen at all.
Yeah, I figured he'd lag it up there and let the guy miss his 12-footer, huh, Roger?
Absolutely. That was the way it was planned on paper. Now he's got a putt that he's got to hit up high to the left. Just let it gather speed down the slope. Break pretty good to his right.
The only thing you can do is you can go ahead and put a little more pace on it, take out about 50% of the break. Of course, every time I ever see anybody try to do that, they never make it. Have you ever noticed that, Roger?
That's right. You got to try to hit him like you would any other time. If you try a different line, it just doesn't work.
Roger, we're watching the expression on Steve Scott's face, and he's still in a little bit of disbelief.
Slow, way low. That thing broke off the charts there, folks.
The lead is back to 2 up, and this is the very first hole that Steve Scott has won in this afternoon match. Takes 10 holes to get it. Another look.
He plays it right forward and stands way up by his left toe, opens the blade wide open, then takes a big swing and just slides the club underneath it. Lands it just about where I thought he might, about 5 feet short. And as Roger Maltby so aptly says, he had a wreck with the pin.
And he had about a 2-foot vertical jump there.
That was right there up there with Corey Pavin's jumps.
You have to admire what Steve Scott is doing here, because most of the people in this gallery want to see Tiger Woods three-peat. Every time you go out on the course, everyone wanted to know where Tiger Woods was all week long. He's been the focal point, but Steve Scott 2 up. Well, there was a pretty good turn of events in the morning round on this same par 5 11th. Tiger got into trouble off the tee, but gets a nice second shot out here into the fairway through the trees, Johnny.
Plays a little hooded, looks like a 6-iron around that John Deere tractor. A heck of a shot right there to give him at least an opportunity to make par or birdie.
And then once again with the same similar shot that Roger mentioned, this again through the evergreen uprights.
And he hits a nice high draw shot. We picked it up with our overhead camera there from the blimp, and you see that drawing in there just about 16 feet left of the hole. But Steve Scott had an answer to that shot.
Tiger had this birdie try.
It's a great putt here. It's breaking right in the hole and flattens out, and he wanted that big time.
So Steve Scott had the birdie putt.
Watch this beautiful stroke. Throws it out there about 4 inches, right in the heart.
Tiger battled, but it was Steve Scott who won this morning's battle, who will win this afternoon's battle. Every hole becoming more crucial. Again, this is a 36-hole championship final. Steve Scott was 5 up after the morning 18. Tiger Woods is now just 2 down. Steve Scott with a 2-up lead.
And I almost believe Steve Scott might have as easier shot than Tiger does, Roger, because he's got started working right with the flat of the green, and Tiger's got to go up and on to that pin placement.
The only problem he has, John, is the ball's up against the intermediate cut of rough, and it's going to maybe affect the heel of his club as he tries to hit it. But other than that,
that's a bit of a bad break there. Those are the kind of things that distract you from concentrating on what you want to do, and you got to play it probably like sometimes on that shot you can play a sand wedge or lob wedge so far back in your stance that you turn it into about an 8-iron, and you sort of chip and run, and hit that kind of shot, a driving shot with spin, and that way you get onto the ball cleaner than if you try to brush it. Let's see if he plays it off his right toe or behind his right foot. He's practicing the exact same lie. This is a very good move right here. Do you see that? He's seen if that's going to bother his club. That's a mature type of approach to that shot. Sort of let your conscious, subconscious know that, yeah, I can get through there cleanly without it grabbing. And he is playing that looks like a sand wedge back in a stance. We'll drive it in there with a little bit of 1-hop spin. And he plays you see how low this is. This is a sand wedge, folks. Watch how low. He sets his wrist angle and then drives him in there and takes loft off the club and only hits that ball about waist high is all with a sand wedge. So he'll come down, de-loft the club. He turns it into about a 9-iron. And see how the shaft angle is still ahead of the club head? That's good form.
Well, this putt of Tiger's now is a little bit of everything. It's uphill, and then the last half of the putt will be downhill. It's actually pretty straight in the first part. Might even try to work a little bit left, but once it gets over the crest of the hill, it'll start moving down and to the right.
This putt could get away from him a little bit, can it?
Oh, it sure could. You could blow this by the whole 6 feet without trying too hard at all.
Remember when I talked about, you know, the putts that are running away from the south, of course, going to the north, are slower than they appear most of the time. And this putt here is just the opposite. This could be more downhill than your eye picks up because it's running down with the drainage of this valley. Because you say, gee, it's going to be slow the first half. I'm putting up the hill. See the darker colored grass? He drives it through that. It's going to take off on him. Good speed, Roger.
Good looking
That's
putt
going
here.
in.
Look at here.
In the heart. Woo! Wow, that's exciting.
That draws a smile from Steve Scott. There was never a doubt.
How good has the 10th and 11th hole been for TV here, huh?
1 up is the lead.
Wow, that's exciting. 10th hole, Steve Scott chips it in, answers with an eagle. And you talk about fired up. This thing about 5 feet from the hole, it's center cut with the break. He knows it's in about right now.
Now.
Oh.
And there's how many? It's the same patented fist pumping that.
That one took it to a new level right there.
It might have been. Pretty good at TPC at Sawgrass in '94. That was a similar look. And then
look at that. He's enjoying it. That's a nice reaction. Really, instead of, you know, upset, he's enjoying the heroics. This little short but dangerous, beautiful hole with the pond left, and we have a hole location today that makes him even think about the water more than normal. And you can see why. It's front left, and it's only about 14, 15 feet to where it'll kick down into the hazard if you come up short left. So the smart play really is probably front right, just on the green to the right. Get back in a stance. That helps take a little loft off, get a little more distance.
Got this ball going at the hole just left. Needs it to spin back.
It does. And after an eagle, Tiger has a birdie in mind, now at 12.
Just so if you're following Tiger, you know that this hole is 134 yards. He just hit the ball probably 7 yards past the hole on a fly, so it carried about 140 yards with spin with a wedge, just a comfortable wedge. Most touring pros hit a wedge about 120, 125.
Steve Scott still relaxed, playing with the gallery even a little bit.
Well, he better take a deep breath because he needs a good one right here.
This is a 9-iron.
Is it okay? It sounded a little bit thick.
A little chunky and at the right side of the green. Not all bad from there, though, really.
It's got it a little heavy.
Roger?
That's from about 25 feet through about 4 feet of fringe. We'll move to his left. And got underneath right away. Took a little hop coming out of the fringe. Well, should Tiger make this one, this place will go ballistic. this downhill. Actually, a very quick, a dangerous putt. He has to be very careful with this putt. It will move pretty good from his left to right, and the kind of putt that can get away from you, John.
Well, to be the first chance to be even since the third hole this morning, and that was a long time ago. So this indeed is a lot of times it's easy. You watch other sports, it's easy to, when you're trailing, to make a run and get back close to even, but it's hard to sustain it. So you'll see that in sports time and time again. You'll be in golf, 5 down, 5 to go. You might win the last 5 and then you usually lose the playoff. What he needs to do is, once he gets here, you got to be mentally tough enough, if he finally gets squares, to go ahead and finish it off, because you finally, when you get back to even, you go, whew, man, I finally got back. You know, so interesting to see how he handles this.
We mentioned the Trip Keeney match in '94, him being 4 down after the morning 18, but he rallied to win 6 of the last 10 holes in that match. He was also 1 down to Buddy Marucci last year, and he won both of those matches 2 up.
And you can see this is no gimme putt. He's aiming way left. Looks like he's aiming at least a foot left or more. It was in, Roger. All I had to do is put some pace on it. He read it perfectly.
He did. He just, well, he respected the putt, and rightfully so, John. If it was the kind of putt he got carried away with, he could have a lot of work left. So he hit a good speed putt. He just not quite hard enough, only a fraction harder, and it goes.
So Steve Scott has to finish up this par to have the hole and remain 1 up.
He is naturally a great putter. This guy is a fantastic putter.
Calls himself a very streaky putter, but he's been nothing but hot in this championship match. And Scott 1 up with 6 holes to play. No man has claimed more U.S. Amateur Championships than the great Bobby Jones. In 1930 at Marion, Jones claimed his 5th and final amateur title, completing his unprecedented Grand Slam. He won 5 U.S. Amateur Championships in 7 years. 5 total for Jones, Jerome Travers with 4, Walter Travis with 3, 14 players with 2, including Tiger Woods.
And Tiger has more of the hitman look on this afternoon than this morning. This morning it was like he just wasn't there. He just hadn't quite gotten it together. But whatever happened at the intermission with his brain trust, whether it be Harman or
Brunza.
Brunza is sort of his mental coach, just retired from the Navy last week. Caddied for him in the qualifier when Tiger won the qualifier. And then, of course, Harman has been there all along and worked on his swing. And at the intermission, he said that his shoulders were a little open on his driver and he was hunched over a little too much. And on his putting, he was bent over also too much and wasn't letting his arm swing freely. And so it obviously it helps to have good coaching, even though, you know, it never was that way in the old days. But it's a science nowadays.
Butch Harmon, referring to Johnny, also the coach of Greg Norman, also coaching Robert Floyd, the son of Raymond Floyd, who lost in the semifinals to that man Steve Scott. Roger?
Well, this back uphill, just got past, and this will move slightly to his left in the last little bit of the putt. A little too much pace, and that gets on by a good 3.5 to 4 feet.
Sometimes it's going to sound funny, Roger, but sometimes I think it's almost an advantage when a guy's got a good birdie putt that you blow it by 5 or 6 feet, because deep down he's thinking, well, you know, maybe I don't have to make this, you know, maybe he's going to might miss it. And it's interesting how that psychology works. Not that you really plan it, but that look right there doesn't look like anything but birdie, though.
Well, this putt of Tiger's is about a 20-footer, and it will move to his right. And he's got to be a little more careful, really, with the speed than Steve Scott, because it will go away from him when it gets past the hole.
So as soft as he has to hit this to die it in there, is it going to break a lot at the hole?
It should have some pretty good movement to the right at the end, yes.
These are Penlinks greens, and they are cut and running at 12 on the stemp meter, the fastest of any USGA championship this year.
Tiger, 3 birdies on the front 9, an eagle at 11, looking for his first birdie in the back.
Looks good.
Good looking putt. Oh,
just a little too much pace.
That close to squaring it up. But Scott still has par putt.
It looked good with about halfway. If it just slowed down. Looks good right there.
That's really the first little clutch putt he's had to make. And this is not an easy putt at all. This is probably left edge or inside the corner if you want to hit it real firm.
Last one of these he had that was sort of key, Roger. I think it was on 5, that hole over the lake, you know. And he missed it. He sort of shook it off the blade. He sort of decelled on it.
Missed a little one at 8 as well.
Loops it in.
Wow, that thing really broke, Roger.
So they have it, and Scott's lead remains 1 up.
And that ball literally went in by probably, who knows, a 64th of an inch. That was so close to a lip out. Ball's going away. The momentum of the ball's going away. And you see that?
Nearly 360 degrees on that one. Tiger was watching it all the way. You gotta be kidding me.
He's pretty businesslike right now.
Next hole, Johnny. Par 5, 14th, 470.
And they call this a 5 par, and it's an interesting hole because it's like a 4/5, 470 yards, and it's downhill in the second half. You got to keep it away from those bunkers on the left. Tiger's been hitting a 3-wood out to the right here and going in with a mid-iron into the screen. And the tough part about this green is, do I lay it up short even though it's 470, or do I try to sneak it in this neck here and avoid the water on the left? And behind it you have environmentally sensitive wetland area, which is just like a water hazard. You can't even go in to hit the ball. So darn near like an out of bounds, but plays just a 1-stroke penalty. And you can see that beautiful view there. And this hole is causing problems. And we've seen a lot of heroics. Tiger's eagled this hole already a couple of times this week.
And it is a real honor to make it to this championship match final, especially when you consider all the entries that were taken by the USGA. Once again, better than 5,500 entries. And you can see that this championship has grown just a little bit since it began back in 1895. 312 qualified to get here. 2 days of stroke play. The top 64 made it to match play. It takes 6 matches in 5 days, 1 to be crowned the champion. And Tiger Woods is on the threshold of that, but he would have to come back to beat Steve Scott.
You ready for an Air Woods shot here, Roger?
Well, this is right where his advantage shows. I think he's got 215 to the hole, Johnny. This will be a turbocharged 5-iron that'll go straight up in the air, and it's his ability to get the ball to come down softly that is really his edge.
This was a big exchange this morning, this hole. Tiger eagled it.
He has hit it just the sky. Air Woods at the right side of the green, and has come up just short. There's just a touch of wind against the players here.
Air Woods. Did Phil Knight hear that, Roger?
I said he eagled it this morning. I was mistaken there. He did birdie it this morning. It was against Joe Kreibel that he eagled it. We showed that on the air.
Steve Scott now from 202 yards, 185 to the front. This is a 4-iron.
How's it look, Roger? He hit a good one this morning.
This is turning in right to left. It looks good if the distance is right. Oh, this is really good here.
It hit very softly, Roger. Nice eagle opportunity, though.
Steve Scott, who commanded the par 5s in the 18 this morning, looking to retake command on this par 5 14th as the army of Tiger continues to follow him in the fairways, and the reaction of Steve Scott.
Great pressure shot. He's not falling apart. He's playing good golf. If he loses, it's not because of what happened to Kreibel. Kreibel's game basically just dissipated and went south, but so far Steve Scott is playing good, solid golf, even though he's lost some holes this second 18.
Looking for the stuff you really wanted but didn't get this holiday? Circuit City makes it simple. Circuit City's big inventory clearance and sale is going on now, with huge savings on the latest TVs, computers, DVDs, and video games, plus the accessories you need for your new MP3 player, digital camera, and more. And get no interest store-wide till 2007 on all purchases $299 and up. Circuit City.
Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Mixing and blitzing and all his reindeer are pulling on the reins. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright.
What's on your wish list? Visit Acura's Drive Home for the holidays and celebrate our 20th anniversary with attractive lease rates.
Here comes Santa Claus.
A lesson for parents about the power of your cable remote. Yes, you can surf the channels with it. But did you know? The cable remote can help control what your children watch. It's pretty easy. First hit Menu or Settings, then scroll through the on-screen options to set your password. Finally, block the programming by channel or rating. And talk to your children about why certain programs are not for them. Set your parental controls. It's easy. For more details on parental controls and tools, go to controlyourtv.org.
Everything he does is very much textbook. I'm sure he goes through his whole game with Harman and his dad and videos, and every part of his game is just like a pro. I mean, everything is perfect. Play this off his right foot, play it back in the stance, just brush the grass. You don't take a divot here. Just brush the grass every time he's brushing. Brush.
Blow.
Getting that bug out of the bug's trying to get a lot of air time. Totally dead-handed. Just rock the shoulders, same speed back and through.
Oh, that's got to settle down.
Yeah, that's when you start thinking about making it, Roger, then that shot more comes into play, don't you think? Knocking it by 5, 6, 7 feet.
Yeah, but he's got it on the right side of the hole,
Yeah.
John. Now he's got the uphill coming back up, so and he got a little carried away, but that's still very makeable.
Well, besides the turnaround at number 10 for Steve Scott when he pitched the ball in from an impossible position, this one right here with the combination of that hole would put him in a pretty good position if he could knock this in.
Well, it was kind of like you were talking about a couple of holes ago. Now that Tiger's hit it on by about 6 feet, 5.5, 6 feet. Now, does Steve Scott think, well, maybe I don't have to make this? You know, maybe
true.
Tiger will miss.
Tiger eagled, I mean, the last par 5 they played, number 11.
Well, let's set the stage for you if you've just joined us. This is the second 18 of a 36-hole championship match play. Tiger Woods 1 down to Steve Scott. He was 5 down to begin the afternoon 18. Tiger Woods going for 3 straight amateur championships. That is unprecedented. But Steve Scott with a chance to win this hole with this eagle putt to take a 2-up lead with 4 holes left.
Man, what a putt, Roger. Was
that
that
just
pure?
melted over the edge.
That was so smooth. He acted like it wasn't going in. Either that or he's awful casual.
Tiger has to make to have.
Well, the shoe is on the other foot. Last hole it was Steve Scott with the shaky little putt, and now it's Tiger.
It's just about 6 feet, Roger?
This is just about 6 feet. Not much break in the putt. Back uphill. I mean, it's the kind of putt you would expect him to make, you know, most of the time. It's just at this moment and at this time and at this juncture in this match, pretty tough.
Yeah, you don't want to go 2 down with 4 to play. I don't care who you are.
Well, look how far away Earl Woods' vantage point is.
Well, it's This is nail-biting time for the Wood contingent right here. He misses his putt. He's got his work cut out for him.
Tiger's mother, Coltita, also in the gallery.
Moved out right on him. Huge miss.
Ooh, man, you talk about a positive thing for Steve Scott. He didn't expect that to be a par by Woods where he wasn't too.
4 holes to play at Pumpkin Ridge. Par 3 15th is next. 188 yards today.
And you can see that double bunker in front of the green. This hole here, even though it's 188 yards, has been a good birdie opportunity for the players. But for some reason, some players have gone long, including Woods. So you want to keep the ball underneath the hole. You can see the hole location today right there, back left. And it brings those bunkers more into play with that hole location. And again, you do not want to go long. So not much wind at all. Roger, any wind up there? Can you feel anything?
It is very still, John. What there is may be left or right, but it's negligible.
Just slightly uphill the shot?
Just a little bit. It's pretty level, but just, I'd say the green's probably 5 feet above the level of the tee.
So at 188, not much wind, slightly uphill. I would assume it's either a big 5 for him or just a, I don't know. I think it's got to be a 5. Could be a smooth 4.
Well, it is going to be a big 5, John. He's got plenty of club to carry that front left side.
Sounded solid.
It is. He started it well right, drawn it back, but it's still right of the hole.
But when you're 2 up, Roger, fairways and greens.
That's right. You force Tiger to be the guy to have to go at the hole.
That's exactly what Steve Scott was thinking when he played the first 2 rounds of the U.S. Open. Shot well the first 2 days, got a little cocky, he said, started going for pins, and ended up finishing well over 100 in the field. Maybe he's learned something from Oakland Hills that he can carry over into this amateur championship.
Well, let's see what he's got inside here, Roger. This is clutch time for Tiger Woods.
This is a 6 iron for Tiger.
Way back in his stance.
Oh, this is a good looking shot if it's the right distance, just right of the hole.
Will it come back?
Yeah, it's very fast going that direction. He's going to leave himself a side hill putt.
Chance for birdie for Tiger Woods at the par 3 15th, but he's running out of holes for a chance to make history. Situation at the par 3 15th, large gallery surrounding the green. Tiger Woods 2 down to Steve Scott, sophomore at the University of Florida. And Tiger Woods in birdie range here, getting to that must-make portion of this match play championship, Johnny.
Well, if Steve can par this hole, which is not an easy birdie hole, and force Tiger to have to make birdies coming in, he did in his 3-peat for the United States Junior just across the river, the Willamette River over at Waverly. He was 2 down with 2 holes to play. He birdied the hardest hole on the golf course on 17, and birdie 18, won the first extra hole. So he's been here before on a 3-peat in the same town and came back from tough odds. So he's going to dig deep and see what heroics he can come up with. But Steve Scott might have a few up his sleeve. He might make a birdie before he's done too. Throw this out to the right, Roger, and let it just cruise down for a gimme?
Absolutely. That's the game plan.
He's got that ridge that's in his way, though, doesn't he?
He has to putt across that, but that's not a huge problem. That's in the very first part of his putt, Johnny.
Yeah.
Good looking putt if it gets there.
Not quite enough.
That's
an easy par.
I tell you, in match play, Roger, great putters are hard to beat, and this Steve Scott, to me, has got the edge with the flat stick right now. I think Steve Scott is an exceptional putter. Tiger's a good putter.
Steve Scott is 19 years old, 2 months and 20 days. He would be the 2nd youngest amateur champion. Tiger Woods, of course, was the youngest at 18 years, 8 months when he won his first of 2 in '94.
I'll tell you, under these heavy pressure conditions, they're still smiling. This nice twosome here, and maybe this young Love's going to be tough to beat.
Well, this is must make time, I think, John. This is downhill and move a little bit to his left, but a lot better being 1 down with 3 to go than 2 down with 3 to go. That's a tough order.
So what do you think he has to play this?
He's got to get the ball off the hole. Maybe a ball and a half, just depending what kind of speed he wants to hit it.
This putt is really makeable. This is the kind of pressure putt you want. You just throw it out outside right edge, let gravity be your friend, and just pull it right down in the cup. This might be the match right here.
Too hard.
Now he's
in
really
danger of losing the hole. Perhaps he's got a tester coming back.
But even more importantly, as the holes run out, it's going to be 2 down with 3 to go. It's getting gets tougher by the minute as those ties mount up. Straight uphill, Roger.
Straight uphill, and don't lose your concentration here.
Yep. Just a very makeable one on the last hole, and then the first one here.
He's got the par, but halves won't do Tiger Woods a lot of good at this point. Steve's got 2 up with 3 to play. The par 4 16th is next.
That's a good par 4, 432 yards. This is the driving hole, the widest driving hole, I think, on the golf course, 37 yards wide. You can see that tree. These bunkers do not come into play, by the way, for either one of these players. See the tree on the left? That's 140 yards to the middle of the green. The pin is in the front more today, but from there you're hitting to a triple leveled green, and the green is actually back right. That's why I was pausing there. I was thrown off by that picture. Pin is back right, which brings the right bunker into play. If you hit a good drive, it's a birdie opportunity, but if you miss the fairway, especially right, you're really in trouble with that bunker. So this hole really, there's plenty of room up there, but Steve's got to be careful. He hit it left yesterday in his match with Floyd and hit the cart path and went in an area you could not play it, and it looked like he was going to lose the hole for sure. And he got one of the all-time gifts from Robert Floyd when Floyd hit it long left, sort of technically unplayable, even though he did try to play it and won the hole and won the match.
He won the hole this morning against Tiger.
He likes it, Roger.
That's a good one. Start in the center, going down the left side. Should be good.
Woods made a bogey 5 on this 16 this morning. Scott parred it.
Well, you'll see some club head speed here. This is going to be another one of those hang times, about 8 seconds. He's been hitting a high towering fade here, carrying it about 290, 300 in the air. Not much roll in this hole.
This ball started at the left, cutting. That is good. Up the left side and long.
He got some roll.
So Tiger Woods safely in the fairway at the 16th. Can he make a miraculous comeback against Scott?
A rainy day is my chance to be home. Be a fan. Be a kid. Be lazy. Problem is, there are no rainy days. My life is about never settling. That's why my card is American Express.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Mixing and blitzing and all his reindeer are pulling on the rein.
What's on your wish list? Visit Acura's Drive Home for the holidays and celebrate our 20th anniversary with attractive lease rates.
Here comes Santa Claus.
Steve Scott threatening to thwart golf history. Tiger Woods looking for the 3rd straight amateur championship. 2 down with 3 to play as they play the 16th hole.
Both have hit the fairway. That's the good news. That's Scott's ball. And Roger, tell us the discrepancy between those 2 tee shots that were both hit as good as they can hit them.
Well, 52 yards. Tiger Woods drove it about 320. Has 118 yards left to the hole. Steve Scott has 170 yards left to the hole. And he's got a little bit of a problem. He's got a good angle, but he's in a little bit of a divot. It's filled in with sand. It's not sitting down real bad, but he's going to have to get the ball solid because it is filled with sand, this divot.
Well, he's got 3 problems. He's got the divot. He's a little bit downwind, so his hook comes in hotter, and it's a fade pin, which he does not hit. So this is definitely should be played more to the center of the green. Force Tiger again to make birdie, which he has failed to do the last 2 short birdie putts. So if he can keep making pars, unless he happens to have a good yardage for his shot or a good pin placement for his shot. Don't go in the right bunker.
This is a 6-iron. Didn't get it real solid. Got it going right of the hole. Looks like the bunker.
Short side of the green too, Roger.
Well, that's when he needs a sort of a caddy to say, do not hit it right.
Remember, though, that's where he was this morning.
And he lipped it out.
Nearly hold it.
Well, you probably will be thinking that, but
it's like a good lie.
Not bad. Yeah, not as good as this morning's, but it's a good lie. A little different angle, slightly more to the left. But he wishes he had just got that on the green because it had 3 things going against you. So you don't want to short-side it on the right. Get it, all that green on the left. Geez, a huge green with big sideboards left. Roger, this is just a wedge, obviously.
Just a wedge. And it is time to be aggressive right here.
You can hit it a little right of the hole and it'll kick left close. You can probably hit it a little past the hole and it'll come back and get short of the hole. I think it'll stay where it hits. So you should be able to get this ball inside of 12 feet.
This is at it if it's the right distance.
Will it come back? Yes, it will.
That ball is probably 2 or 3 inches from hanging up in the rough over the green, the heavy rough. That was actually a fortuitous little bit of a distance there. Good shot, though. Let's take a look at this, folks. I'm telling you, if it went in 1, maybe even a half a foot deeper into it, it would hung up. Watch this. It gets into the deep stuff, but just barely, just enough to get it back. So that was a good break there, and we could be 1 down with 2 to go. Looks like it.
9 players have won back-to-back titles. Bobby Jones and Jerome Travers did it twice, but none of the 8 before Tiger Woods have won 3 in a row.
Well, this is the kind of hole he was looking for, Roger. He's got a nice short birdie putt. Steve Scott in a bit of trouble, even though he darn near holed this. Maybe it's not that bad of a problem. Well, we could probably, if you remember from this morning, he literally lipped it out on, watch this. This is from this morning. Watch how close this comes. Goes down in the hole and comes out. So he's got a good visualization of what to do on this shot, that's for sure.
And good memories from winning the hole with a par, because Tiger Woods 3-putted.
Yeah,
He was on in 2. So
that's not going to happen this afternoon, though. So.
Well, his lie's not quite as good as it was this morning. It's a little different angle. It's coming a little bit more downhill, so
tougher to stop it.
Tougher to stop it. He's got to land this ball in the fringe.
He could very well be putting first.
And he will.
He didn't have that crisp a lie as he did this morning, Roger. This morning he was on a little upslope, no sand behind it. And that one, you could tell by the sound of it, wasn't crisp and you couldn't spin it. So it's not the most enviable position to be in with just a one up lead on Tiger Woods with 2 to play, even though I'd like to give it a shot myself.
You would, huh?
Oh, I would. Right now, if he could. David Fay said I can't get my amateur standing back, but I'd like to try for that 1 up with 2 to go.
Be a nice exhibition for pay-per-view or something.
Oh boy, I'd be really shaken. Well, Roger.
Well, this putt from about 9 feet will move from his left to right. He's had to ask Tiger to move his mark, so it's right in his line. Tiger will get a very good look at what's going on. Of course, and if it doesn't go, then Tiger's got 2 putts to win the hole.
So that morning 18 looking very good for Steve Scott. Remember, 5 up after the morning 18. Tigers had to play catch up for a long time. Was just 1 down after 13, but lost the 14th to Steve Scott. They halved 15, and here they are at 16.
Kind of break, Roger?
It'll move to his right.
Clutch.
Man, Roger, this guy's got some insides, doesn't he?
He's got a lot of faith in that button stroke, that's for sure.
Is he reminding him to move his coin back? Which is something you don't see a lot in other sports.
Yeah, I don't know that Tiger had remembered to do that. Tiger was getting down, and Steve turned around and said, hey, move it back.
Pretty good sportsmanship there, and had he not done that, David Fay, what would have been the consequences?
He would have played from a wrong place. He would have lost the hole.
How
would have been the match.
How about that for sportsmanship in the heat of this championship battle?
You don't see it in other sports.
It's commonplace in golf, though. Just absolutely rule of thumb.
Every week.
Yep. Well, if he loses this hole, I think the smiles will be gone until if he does win, because I tell you, 1 up is a lot different than 2. He saw the line. He knows what he's got to do, Roger.
That's the last 2, though. Nervous putt.
And this time he's got it. 1 down with 2 to play.
All I can say is this is great stuff.
Oh,
man.
And now Steve Scott is on the threshold of stepping in the way of Tiger Woods' march to history. He's 1 up with 2 to play.
Roger, right now, if you had these 2 shots, which one would you rather have?
Steve's, because he's 2 up.
No, I know that. 1 up.
Actually,
1 up. I mean,
1 up. You still want it?
No wonder you like
I still
it.
want it. I still want it. No, but he's got a little bit of grass behind the ball that's going against him. So he's got a tough little lie, John.
It's only, what, about 20 feet, 18 feet?
Yeah, about 18 feet, maybe.
But
more than 20.
You still haven't answered my question. You'd rather have Tigers or this one?
I'd rather have Tigers.
Tell you what, he knocked it in from off the green on 10. Darnier hold it on 16 this morning, so he's been pretty good stuff around the fringes and in the bunkers.
I think it's an easy one to jam past the hole myself. But
yeah, he was taking a practice swing there, if you noticed, where he started doing a Aoki karate chop move where he took it up and just chopped down on it. Tiger's in a funny position, though. He's where he can't be leaving this short. He's got to give us a run, you know. He can't, and so I'm not saying he's going to run it way by, but I think he's got to know he's got to get it to the hole, because otherwise you're giving a guy a chance to beat you. I mean, if you know, to close it out right here.
Well, the green runs away from him all the way down to that spot, John. This putt's almost hard to leave short.
You know what I'm saying, though. He's he's in the position. He does not want to leave it short. He's got to figure, I'm Tiger Woods, and I've done great stuff in the past. Did it at Waverly. I've done it other places, and I'm going to do it again, so I got to get this there. I tell you what, right now, his stomach is like churning. I'm telling you, see that? Taking a deep breath, trying to get air. Did you see that? You could just see it on his face. It's good.
Great speed. It's in.
Are you serious? Tiger. Unbelievable. I tell you, that's all I can say. I used to say that about Nicklaus.
Nicklaus willed him in, and after watching Tiger Woods in 3 straight amateur championships, he has the same kind of magic.
It is. It's magic. It's absolutely, that is, you just don't do that.
Now Steve Scott still has a chance to have the hole with a birdie, but if he doesn't get it down, this match will be all square headed to 18.
Man, you imagine that, Roger. You got 2 down, got 3 holes to go, and you birdie 16 and 17.
Well, that was stunning, and I'm sure it stunned Steve Scott. He doesn't have much distance to the hole, not really any more than 20 feet, but the grain of the grass is sitting against him behind the ball, and the ball is sitting down a little bit. It's kind of a hard one to get a good touch on. It's be easy to jam this one way too hard.
Leaving the pin in, I guess, because of figuring, well, it might come out a little hot. Usually you take it out when you mean business. Nope. It's all square. Unbelievable. All square.
Spectacular birdie for Tiger Woods to square the match at 17, headed to 18. And on this par 5, anything can happen. Well, the tremendous gallery here at 18 recognizing the fine play of Woods and Scott.
And I'll tell you, this shot that Tiger Woods, I wish everybody that's watching this, including the gallery, could try to play this under the same situation, same pressure. Both of these shots. Okay. What was the exact yardage again, Raj?
102.
102. My rangefinder said 100.
Got it going right of the hole, to the center of the green.
You could tell by the sound of it, it didn't stick on the face. It just got a lot of grass between the club face and the ball and took the spin off of it. But not bad. He's got the kind of putt. It breaks right to left. Scott does, but it's makeable.
And the gallery will cave in behind.
I tell you what, Tiger Woods, I think this might be the toughest shot he's ever had in his life. Right here, I'm telling you. This shot, it's a little on the downslope, hitting uphill, which I'm not so sure that boxes in his way. I don't think he's going to get relief, Dave. But I think he's just clear of it on swing and stance.
We'll have to see. If it doesn't interfere with his stance and his swing, if it's just mental interference, he would not get relief. But the referee will walk him through this one.
It's real close. It's one of those, the follow through, I don't think would bother, but there are people that would take this drop.
Yeah, and if he does get the drop, you see on the screen there how it will proceed.
You can see the gallery closing in now.
Yeah, the gallery closed in so far. They're right on the front edge of the green, which, of course, the smaller the circle, the less people get to see. So they're 10 deep in there and standing in the bunkers and everything else. So this is pretty exciting.
Well, Johnny, he's got a real decision to make here, because if he tries to get cute and get the ball close, he takes a chance at losing the amateur championship right here. He can also hit it, if he wants to, past the hole and take his chances from there. But you know, it's a big decision to make how you play it.
You can hear 3 perfect brushes, 4 brushes. That's the secret on this thing. Swing with the slope and brush the grass so you don't chunk it short and come right back at your feet. If it doesn't get onto the green 3 feet, it'll come all the way back down to this box. He did what you said, Roger. That was a smart shot.
We'll have a shorter birdie try than Steve Scott. They both lie 3. The match is all square.
People, you just don't know how good this was. To pick it off there on a downslope to an uphill chip. You see how he just brushed it off there, drove it into that bank, couple hops, bite, trickle. See how far back in his stance? And I'll tell you, this was not an easy shot. He just brushed it right off there perfectly. This is as good a finish to a golf tournament as I've ever been involved with. I'll tell you that.
Give you an idea of how good the golf has been on this second 18 for both players. Steve Scott, who had the 5-up lead heading into the second 18, is 2 under on his round today and has still lost all of his 5-up lead. So both players have been playing outstanding golf. Tiger has just been more spectacular at the right moment in the afternoon.
I mean, Steve Scott, with his 5-up lead, has done exactly what you needed to do to win 99 out of 100 matches. But he's playing Tiger Woods, and that's the 1 in 100.
Two birdies, 16 and 17 to square it up.
Well, this is, I think, the premium putter of the two. I think that Steve Scott is the better putter, but maybe not under pressure. Moves left, Roger.
It does, and it's quite quick. Oh, just ducked under.
That's gone by 5 feet, and that was a good putt. He hit it right where he wanted, but it broke more than he thought. Oh, man. Just a little more pace, and it was in. He's looking like it's going to go in. Stay up, he said. He knows. He hit a good putt. He hit the exact putt he wanted. It just broke a little more than he thought.
Sets the stage, Johnny, for this birdie putt for Tiger Woods. If it goes down, he wins.
Roger, he has a choice to make here, doesn't he? Whether he goes ahead and hits a nice pace to get him a good chance to make it, and it will go by 4 or 5 feet at that pace, because this green is, like I said earlier, it's about 12 on the stump meter, the fastest greens of any USGA competition this year. And this putt has got some trickle in it. Once it turns left, it's heading downhill, isn't it?
Well, yes, and if it were me, I would take the high route and just try to hit a dying putt. Steve still has some work left to do, and for the National Amateur Championship, you know, who knows what the odds of him making that putt are. He's putted very, very well, but I certainly wouldn't want to leave myself anything very long at this moment. I think I'd take the high route and just try to die it at the cup.
We'll see. He just made a clutch putt at 16 and a heroic putt at 17 from across the green. And now he's hit a great chip to give himself a chance to win the three-peat. Right here, this is for his 3rd straight United States Amateur, following up 3 straight United States Juniors.
It would be unbelievable, too, Johnny, in the way he's done it. 3 straight birdies at 16, 17, and 18.
We'll leave it alone here, Tiger. It's all up to you.
Chance. But remember, Steve Scott has a much longer par putt coming back. So the par putt has been conceded to Tiger. Steve Scott still with this par putt to extend the match to the 9th hole. He misses, and Tiger Woods has his three-peat.
Well, it was a sort of a disappointing effort by Tiger. That surely wasn't anything to write home about, but it did get the job done. Forced him to have to hit this, what is a left edge putt, Roger, uphill. It's not a hard putt, maybe inside left edge, but under the circumstances, that hole's pretty small.
Just try to rip it in there. Yep.
Steve Scott answers the par at 18. The last time the U.S. Amateur Championship Final went to extra holes was in 1981 when Nathaniel Crosby beat Brian Lindley on the 37th hole at the Olympic Club in San Francisco. And if Tiger Woods wants a piece of history, he'll take more than 18 holes to do it. We're back with a completion in a moment. So it has been a long day and a long week as well. Monday and Tuesday to get into the round of match play. Top 64 advance after 2 days of stroke play qualifying, and then 2 rounds on Thursday to advance to the quarterfinals. The winners there moving on to yesterday's semifinals, and then to end it all off, 36-hole championship, which has turned into extra holes for these two men today.
And the pressure, you know, people say, well, yeah, 2 rounds of qualifying and all these 6 matches and a 36-hole final and one other 36-hole day. But the really thing is the mental fatigue. Physically, these guys are in wonderful condition, but mentally, I would think for Steve Scott, this is really grueling to face Tiger at this stage in the tournament and then think that you're going to win and have Tiger play this 7 under par on you to get it to all square. Man, so there's
the massage again from Christie.
I mean, Christie, you are the best.
Pumping him up.
So advantages to Woods here with his length. It's got enough width on it that he can sort of let it go. But that second bunker is an awful long carry. He cannot quite carry that left, the second of the center bunkers. It's about a 300-yard carry, or 300 plus. He gave it his full rip and not one little ounce of noise from the gallery. I don't know what that means.
He's challenging that bunker, Johnny.
Oh, he just airmailed the bunker. That isn't even fair.
Big advantage for Woods. Again, remember he had the huge drive at 18. Steve Scott managed to match the par. Remember, the first player to win a hole outright wins the championship.
Steve Scott back to an iron on this hole, Jim.
Oh, man.
It's a lot to give away.
Uh-oh. It's drawing. Is it all right?
Well, it's going at those bunkers and
always going down the left
in between
side.
them. Yes, it's right in the middle. It'll be fine.
Tiger's drive, it might be the longest of the week for him.
The 37th hole of this championship Sunday. Who will prevail, Woods or Scott? One of the more emotional amateur finals took place in 1981 at the Olympic Club in San Francisco when Nathaniel Crosby, son of the late Bing Crosby, beat Brian Lindley, one up for the title. It was the last time the championship match was extended beyond the 36 holes. And that coming 15 years ago. 15 years later, it's Tiger Woods and Steve Scott battling for the prestigious Havemeyer Trophy.
From this distance, he's got to hit some kind of shot that'll chase in there, John, something that'll bounce in there.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to fly it up on the surface of the green. If he does, he wants to land it on the very, very front edge.
It's been 8.5 hours since these two teed off this morning.
Sets up for a draw.
And he's got it going just left of the hole at the center of the green.
Looks good, Roger.
That's a good shot.
Oh, that's better than good.
Beautiful.
That's an incredible shot into this situation with all the pressure. Now he puts the pressure on Tiger. It takes a lot of discipline when you're not a long hitter, just an average length hitter, to take a hole that's 463 yards and play 2 irons against Tiger Woods after he just hit a ball that went 340.
Well, he's got a very good lie in this right rough. Really, it's not that good an angle from this right side. There is a collection area to the right of the hole. So the ideal shot really here is to take it in just left of the hole as he did earlier today.
There's that collection area we're looking at right there with the collection box down the bottom of it.
You don't want it down there.
Standing below the ball. Pick it up, Roger.
Little left of the hole over by Steve Scott's ball, and will spin away.
Who would have thought that he would be outside Steve Scott? And you do not want, if you're Tiger Woods, to putt and give Steve Scott a chance to win it with his putter.
Tiger Woods certainly familiar with the feeling of winning USGA championships. He's won 5 previous titles, including the juniors. And we asked him again what the U.S. Amateur means to him.
It means a lot because this is our national title. We don't get this opportunity to play for a national crown very often, once a year. And when that opportunity comes, you know, it makes you feel special that, you know, you have a chance to win our nation's title. And that's just something I've always geared for. I geared for it in the junior because I was the level I was at, and amateur is where I'm at right now. And hopefully down the road, U.S. Open will be the same for me too.
His mother, Coltita, along with Earl Woods in the gallery.
You're right, Roger, as straight as can be. Hit it out about 3 inches left of the hole, and it just stayed right there.
So Steve Scott with his chance, and this was his reaction watching the missed birdie.
And he knows I have a shot at winning the United States Amateur. Nobody can take it away from me. I got my first shot. Look at this. You talk about nervous time. I'll tell you what.
Now from this angle, his putt should slide a little bit right.
No, that looks pretty determined right there, I'll tell you. I don't know if he's got the insides to make his normal stroke, but he's got a great putting stroke.
This for the championship.
Leaving it short for a chance for a major championship.
37 holes. Still undecided.
And here we go. You'd think this hole sets up better for Tiger, Roger.
You would with his fade. Certainly that Steve's hit that draw twice, and of course missed the green once right, but it's kind of a risky shot to hit something shaped right to left in here. Tiger with the 6-iron. I'm sure he's just aiming the left side of our tower. If he can get the ball to cut a little bit, that would be perfect.
Dodged a pretty good little bullet on that last green. You give Steve Scott a clear-in putt from that distance and good chance to make it, but he dodged that one. New life here.
This shot starting left of the hole and cutting. Good looking shot.
Great shot by Tiger Woods.
Absolutely a gorgeous golf shot. Just couldn't be hit better, could it, Roger?
That was exactly how you draw it up on the diagram.
High fade.
Only about 40 feet higher. That was just a moon ball.
So the pressure once again. 19-year-old Steve Scott. He's answered every time at crucial times.
I could see from his face on that last putt when he knew he had a chance to win it right there. Nobody could take it away from him. His facial expressions totally changed, and breathing patterns even looked different. Might have been a little too nervous there. See if he can regroup here.
Got it started right. It's trying to draw back. It's at the very, very right edge of the green. Needs a bounce.
Oh, it didn't quite come down.
Well, it's a good break. It got out of the primary rough, though.
Well, a big advantage for Tiger Woods. Is he just a few moments away from finally putting away the three-peat? We'll be right back.
Still walking with a nice spring in his step there. Adrenaline will help out a little, but what a great shot Tiger Woods hit. And really, Steve Scott's ball, just another 2 feet more left, it would have got out of that fringe and trickled down right by the pin. So it's got an interesting lie. Looks like it is down grain. He did pitch it in from just about 8 feet from there not too long ago, a couple hours ago. And it is a makeable kind of pitch shot. The only thing is in the process of trying to make that, Roger, you probably will knock it by, 5-6 feet. And so it's that collar behind his ball could be a bit of a problem.
Very similar to the chip he had on 17. Not much from the hole, not much more than 20 feet, but it is going dead away from him. And if he lands it on the green, unless it hits the flagstick, I just can't see him keeping it inside of 6-8 feet.
So very likely he'll be putting before Tiger is what you're saying if he goes for it. And I think if I was him or I was caddying for him, I was saying, hey, Tiger Woods from here is going to probably make it 7 out of 10 times. We got to try to make it. Forget the par. We got to get this, give it a run, and maybe maybe you want to trickle it in, but you do want to think about making it.
Roger, how close is Tiger on his birdie attempt?
Oh, not much more than 7 feet, 8 feet. Very, very makeable.
And you can see he's trying to figure out whether to stand with his foot close together or way back on a wide stance, but he's playing it behind his right foot so he can get the club on cleanly.
Oh, nice shot.
Took a run at it. That's exactly what he was thinking.
Huge advantage to Tiger now. Steve Scott, if he ties this hole with Tiger, he's got to be pretty fortunate. So they're checking to see who's away, Roger?
They are. Trey Holland will come in and pace off the putts.
Holland, and he's determining who's away.
He has determined Steve Scott is away. Now there's going to be a second consideration. He's going to pace it, I guess. But
Well, he may pull out the string.
Yeah, he probably...
he had pointed at Steve Scott originally.
Or...
Well, it's obviously for Tiger, if he knew that Trey says that Steve Scott's away and Steve were to miss, obviously Tiger, it's a formality, just lagging it down there. And I think Tiger would probably just as soon not be away. And Steve, of course, would rather have Tiger show his cards first. He doesn't want to miss first. You never want to show your cards first. In a pressure situation, always let the other guy show his cards first.
There's the string. And Tiger is away.
Tiger Woods is away, yes, and he will go first. Well, this putt will move a little bit to his right.
Quick?
It is quick, but not dangerously so. I don't think it's anything to really be scared of. It'll move reasonably sharply to the right if he doesn't have enough pace on it, but he doesn't want Steve Scott to have to hit his putt, let's put it that way.
This for the three-peat.
Looks like a cheetah hiding in the grass, ready to spring on something.
Remember, Tiger Woods has never had the lead in this entire 36-hole match, which began more than 8.5 hours ago.
I always contend that the easiest putt to make under pressure is a downhill, or you just get it started and let it do its thing. You don't have to hit it real hard or real good, just get it going. And this would be a major disappointment to this fellow right here if he doesn't make it, because he knows this is a great opportunity. Standing up very tall, like Butch Harmon told him to do at the intermission. Made a lot of break.
Nope.
That's 2 putts in 3 holes. The putt at 18 was very disappointing, didn't even come close, and that one there, obviously, to get the brass ring, he did all the heroics to get there, to get a chance to get it, and now it's like, boy, I want it so bad, maybe too bad.
Steve Scott, with a pressure tester for par on 18, sank it to extend the match to the 38th hole.
Roger.
Extra holes, and now at the 38th hole.
This is not an easy putt, right? It is up the hill, isn't it?
It is back up the hill, probably a left edge putt. If he wants to rip it, he might could keep it inside the hole, but to stay alive.
Yeah. It's tough to make these when you got this much on the line.
Looks out. And then Tiger's putt has not yet been conceded.
Well, Tiger's a couple feet away from making history. A bit of a gift there by Steve Scott, but under the situation, I can understand it. He did himself proud regardless of what happens. Yeah, he just hates to now realize it's all over but the shouting.
I guarantee this is the longest one-footer he's ever had.
Oh, I'm glad he's making him putt it. I'll tell you, it's amazing the thoughts that go through your head at this position right here.
Another Tiger comeback completed. And with it, golf history. 3 straight U.S. Amateur Championships for Tiger Woods.
There's Earl Woods coming in, mother and father. There's that famous hug where tears will be exchanged.
Not Palmer, not Nicklaus,
not Bobby Jones
not
either.
Bobby Jones have won 3 straight. Steve Scott pushed it to the 38th hole of the championship match.
I don't know how I took you that far.
And let's go down to Roger Maltby.
Well, gentlemen, congratulations on a well-played, if you turn around a little, Tiger, on a well-played final. Tiger, a place in golf history. You never led until the 20th hole. Uphill battle all the way.
It was. I got off to a horrible start this morning. You know, I didn't really have it. And this afternoon, I knew what I had to do because I've been there before. And it's just a matter of going out there and doing. I didn't make any putts until the very end when I guess I really needed them. And it's just a hard-fought battle all day.
Excuse me, I've been here so long, it was 38 holes.
Yeah.
When you dominated the first 18, that's for sure. You played very, very well and played well in the afternoon. Tiger just kind of put the afterburners on.
Oh, yeah, I knew he was going to do that. I mean, you know, he's famous for that, and I knew 5 up was, I mean, it's a pretty big lead, but with 18 against this guy, it's nowhere close to being enough.
Well, Tiger, we got to ask the question, what does this do to your feelings as to whether you'll turn pro or stay in school?
I really don't know right now. I just know one thing, I'm going to celebrate like hell tonight.
Well, it was certainly one of the best matches I've ever seen. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you very
much. Back
much.
to you, Dan.
Thank you, Roger. Let the celebration continue for Tiger Woods. 3 in a row. The historic one comes at Pumpkin Ridge. What a championship final day it's been. 38 holes to decide it. Tiger Woods wins it. So for our entire broadcast crew, for Johnny Miller and Roger Maltby, I'm Dan Hicks saying so long from the 96th U.S. Amateur Championship. A 3-peat in the books for Tiger.